Incredible! Unbelievable!
Save! And fuck our champions!
Goal! It doesn't get any better than that!
Two reigning champions of two Nisa Nation-related competitions confront one another for the first time under EPSL circumstances. Third place New York Greek American Soccer Club, in addition to spearheading New York City and American soccer since the 1940s, has also been at the cutting edge of the Metropolitan Conference in recent memory and is the latest team to engrave its name into the Eastern Premier Soccer League trophy, something that this historic club hopes is the first of multiple in the near future. 80 years after this group's establishment came that of Richmond County Football Club, the newest victor of the Cosmopolitan Soccer League Division 1 and by default one of this season's debutants. The newly promoted Staten Island squad intends on using its newfound league experience in order to topple this foe and ameliorate its fourth to last placement in the standings at this moment. A veteran organization throws down the gauntlet at a young blood side in tonight's contest in Long Island, New York. I am Sean Cabrera, behind the camera is Ben DeBrokert, and this is the Eastern Premier Soccer League on Game in Frame. As now we could also take a look at the standings provided to us by the EPSL. At the top of the food chain for now, we do find New York Pan-Cyprian Freedoms with 22 points. Right on their tails, however, is Lansdowne Yonkers FC with 21 points. But the competition doesn't end there because New York Greek Americans, of course, who play in tonight's bout, have 19 points. And if one does the math, there is some potential that New York Greek American Soccer Club can overtake first place from its Hellenic foe, New York Pan-Cyprian Freedoms. Likewise, Hoboken FC has 18 points, likewise right on the tail of this side wearing blue today. Manhattan Celtic rests in 5th place with just 16 points, not too far away from the top 4. New York Athletic Club likewise has 13 points and rests in 6th place. 7th place belongs to Kid Super Samba AC with 9 points. The first team in this list not to reach the double digits. Right below them is Central Park Rangers FC and Richmond County FC, both with 8 points. However, that goal differential perhaps not being a factor for now, as it looks more like the goals scored will be updated soon. So again, Richmond County FC currently rests at the bottom part of the echelon. We also have to take into account that Richmond County FC has played less matches, hence the difference in standings. So allow me to correct myself there. Doxa FCW rests at 10th place with 5 points, and penultimate place is Zumschneider FC with just 4 points. And at the bottom of the standings is SC Vistula Garfield with just a single point. The Metropolitan Conference has handed Richmond County FC the rookie treatment on various occasions so far this season. After a respectable win in its EPSL premiere, the Staten Islanders endured a dry spell that saw 1 tie and 3 straight losses. November, nevertheless, has treated the latest Cosmopolitan Soccer League Division 1 title holders nicely, as shown by their in-month record of 1 win, 0 losses, and 1 tie. Although its first regular season match as EPSL champion was soured by a surprising defeat, on the other hand, New York Greek American Soccer Club had rebounded since then with stable efficacy. The Alino Americani, with a record of 6 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie, are potentially a victory away from taking charge once again of the Metropolitan Conference leaderboard. But in this penultimate match before the winter break, both contestants will be looking for the full 3-point haul. New York Greek American Soccer Club will be sporting an all-blue uniform accompanied by white details Their goalkeeper will be wearing a gray top, black shorts, and black socks. Meanwhile, the visiting side from Staten Island, Richmond County Football Club, will be wearing an all-white uniform that does feature some blue details along the collar, as well as down the sides of the top. However, their goalkeeper will be wearing a neon green top with black shorts and, I believe, gray socks. New York Greek-American Soccer Club and Richmond County Football Club go head-to-head for the first time in Eastern Premier Soccer League history on Game in Frame. Champion versus champion, EPSL champion versus Cosmopolitan Soccer League Division 1 champion. As it will be, in fact, New York Greek-American Soccer Club that commences first with the ball at their feet as Jean-Baptiste lays it over toward a nearby defender, Daniel de las Heras Garcia, immediately booting it away, the goalkeeper from Spain, specifically from Madrid. Had a very pleasant conversation with him, reminiscing about how I had visited Spain many years ago. And by many, I do mean 7. Hard to believe that 2017 was 7 years ago. As New York Greek-American Soccer Club dispossessed nearly in its final third, a last-ditch effort by the defender does just enough to prevent any sort of attacking chance for the away team. A noteworthy effort from the Greek-American, as now the nearest player marking that Richmond County player would be El Mehdi Youssoufi. Speaking of which, we could go over the full roster for both sides. For Richmond County Football Club, we will see the likes of Giuseppe Barone, Kemo Brekanovic, Martin Dadai, Pietro Giove, Christopher Gini, Peter Gini, Armando Guarnera, Yetmir Kovacevic, Michael Molika, Ace Mohamedou Ndaye, Andre Ruggiero. And before we could expand upon that, near post shot was never going to stun the goalkeeper in gray. Continuing with Richmond Football Club, Valery Saramutin will also be in that squad. Mark Schnatzstein would also be in there. Jacob Shumansky is also involved. Demian Turi is another feature, alongside Adnan Zaganyor and Yoni Sakoshansky, respectively. In order, their numbers are 6, 24, 14, 21, 4, 2, 5. Yetmir is in goal. 8, 18, 20, 31. 9, 15, 27, 22. And lastly, 23. For New York Greek-American Soccer Club, their roster for today does feature the likes of Hermanos Achterkamp with the number 12, Daniel Bedoya with the number 8, Francesco Caorsi with the number 23. Daniel de las Heras Garcia is currently in goal. Tim Gallagher de May wears the number 14. And speaking of Daniel de las Heras Garcia, once more needed for another clearance inside his own 18-yard box. And it goes practically coast to coast, goes onto the other goalkeeper's feet. Jean-Baptiste wears the number 11. Adam Marcu wears the number 5. And after Marcu comes Mashriki, or Malik Mashriki, who wears the number 3. Patrick, or Patty as he's known, McCann wears the number 6. Paul McVeigh dons the number 10 on his back. James Nealis is the current owner of the number 16. George O'Malley wears the number 98. Nicholas Oberrauch wears the number 4. Francesco Perinelli wears the number 22. Let's note that Oberrauch also goes by Nico. Nicholas Petridis wears the number 19. Cormac Pike wears the number 25. John Sable wears the number 2. Joseph Wright dons the number 18. And El Mehdi Youssoufi wears the number 7. Richmond County Football Club is currently coached by Halid Brekanovic. Meanwhile, New York Greek-American Soccer Club is coached by Jimmy Shalom. As the ball is booted high for now, no real goal-scoring chance within these opening 5 minutes. Not necessarily neck and neck, but both teams are testing the waters. As it's with Richmond County Football Club attacking along the left wing. It's Demian Turi. Demian crossing it toward the far post. De Las Heras Garcia not needed for that occasion. Solid defending, winning the aerial duel. As that's a long ball launched away by New York Greek American Soccer Club. Paul McVeigh has to be careful not to commit the sin here, as eventually Richmond County Football Club is able to recoup the sphere in the enemy's half, not long before it retreats into its own. Richmond County relying on the footwork of Jacob Szymanski before Jetmir Kovacevic is able to boot it away. Assistant referee immediately raising the flag for offside. A high back line is what's being displayed for now by the team in all blue. As he's looking for options, that's Hermanus Achterkamp. As it's now played toward the feet of a wide midfielder in the form of Cormac Pike. And eventually Jetmir Kovacevic can get his hands behind this ball before rolling it out toward the nearest defender in the form of Armando Guarnera. It's now at the feet of Giuseppe Barone. Barone, looking for options, scanning, has a Drew Jean-Baptiste, marking him not too tightly, but just enough to make him feel uncomfortable. Switch play of sorts. Demian Turi. Demian toward Giuseppe Barone. Giuseppe Barone, feeling the footsteps of a nearby Francesco Perinelli. And of course, New York Greek American Soccer Club, successful in winning the goal kick, despite some complaints from the away side, though none that are too vicious to call the referee's attention. As the Greek Americans are unable to fully penetrate the enemy's half for now. A silent half, or I should say silent opening half for now, for the New York Greek American Soccer Club players at this point in time. After all, we're just in the 7th minute of action. Nothing too crazy. Though it is interesting to see Richmond County approaching this match with a guns blazing sort of style, as Achterkamp plays it toward De Las Heras Garcia. As the ball continues to bounce around, Richmond County Football Club quickly playing it. It's with their number 8, Michael Molika, toward the right wing. Somewhat dealt with by Joseph Wright, as Daniel De Las Heras Garcia had it all under control. Communication extremely vital in the final third, let alone penalty area. And in this part of Long Island, New York, it's currently 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Although at moments it feels a lot colder, primarily thanks to the brutal winds that we've been feeling and seeing all day long. Winds of up to 10 miles per hour, gusts of up to 23. So they've gone down from the initial 30 mile per hour gusts, but it's still something noteworthy. In fact, with conditions like these, chilly temperatures, unforgiving winds, we might as well be playing in Chicago. But for now, the action is coming to you live from Long Island, New York, as Richmond County Football Club is in possession of the ball itself, currently with the back line. Perinelli jockeying really around his player. It's still at the feet of Jacob Szymanski, as Szymanski was able to temporarily connect with Molika. Molika playing it toward the left-hand side where he has Giuseppe Barone. Barone trying to filter that pass past the back line. Unable to do so, as Paul McVeigh was a little late to the party. For now, it's with Armando Guarnera. Toward the right-hand side it goes, as it's being tightly marked, crossed toward the near post. Daniel de las Heras Garcia, not needed. And maybe that was a serious goal-scoring chance toward the near post. He couldn't make sufficient contact with it with the back of his head. And as he's unable to do so, it's a goal kick for New York Greek American Soccer Club. That for now, within these opening 10 minutes, has played comparatively to its prior games a touch timidly. Nothing egregious, however. We're still within the opening 10 minutes of this bout. As now asking for the pass is El Mehdi Youssoufi, the Moroccan winger, with whom I had also shared a pleasant conversation. As now desperate to defend is Oburauch. As Nico at the end is able to draw the foul. So Nico draws the foul in his own half here in this Hofstra University venue, site not too long ago of the NCAA men's college soccer tournament, or more precisely, men's college Division I soccer tournament. El Mehdi Youssoufi opting not to take the throw in here. Drew Jean-Baptiste would be a nearby option. And instead, Petridis plays it all the way back to his backline member, specifically in the form of Cormac Pike, who is likewise accompanied by Achterkamp. Booted away by Pike. The Alino Americani hoping to break through, chipping away at that back line, but there's hardly been an opportunity deadly enough against Richmond County Football Club as the assistant referee raises the flag for offside against Michael Molika. Richmond County FC for now, according to the current standings in the EPSL, sits amongst the bottom 4 instead of the bottom 5 due to the fact that it has played less games than the team right above it, hence the tiebreaker. At least according to our standings here in the EPSL, as El Mehdi Youssoufi draws a vicious foul. Demian Turi, rash with the challenge, and the referee may pull out a card here. And it's really hard to contest that one. Really, really hard. The referee very firm in his decision. The assistant referee likewise goading the referee, naturally of course, into giving the yellow card. It was appropriate. It was needed. So Demian Turi receives the first yellow card in this game. As Nico Petridis stands over the ball. Petridis looking for a blue jersey toward the far post. Played centrally at the end toward Drew Jean-Baptiste, who's always an aerial threat. The Brooklynite who has represented the Haitian national team on several occasions, including the Gold Cup. Unable to get his head to the end of it as Richmond County Football Club keeps the ball live along the touchline. Back-to-back fouls. Uh-oh. Here comes trouble as Richmond County FC, well, for a moment, it almost looked like they were going to storm that one individual. It looked like they were going to storm around Oburauch. But at the end, the referee waves it away, maintains control in this game. A little difficult to catch as to who had approached the Italian player in such a manner. Though there is no question about it, it is a foul, and maybe Nico Oburauch was fortunate in not receiving a booking, given that we had already seen one against Demian Turi. Naturally, some referees, once they give one yellow card, turn it into a frenzy, kind of like when a piranha smells blood in the water, or tastes blood, however you want to say it. Same for sharks. As New York Greek American Soccer Club is unable to fully profit off that long pass aimed toward El Mehdi Youssoufi, as the Moroccan winger instructs his fellow forwards and midfielders as to how they should position themselves. Drew Jean-Baptiste not there to the party first, but here comes New York Greek American Soccer Club, playing it centrally. It's at the feet of their own number 10. It's with Paul McVeigh, only temporarily. Ball knocked away toward the right-hand side, and that could be and should be a foul called against New York Greek American Soccer Club. It was Francesco Perinelli who had committed the sin. Back-to-back free kicks in favor of the away team, who has hardly played sheepishly. In fact, they've approached this game with a ton of confidence. Let's do remember that their record in November, that is for the Staten Islanders, features 1 win and 1 tie. And that win practically snapped a 4-game winless streak. So they're in pretty decent form, as Daniel de las Heras Garcia may be needed here toward his near post. Lots of traffic inside the 6-yard box, but the assistant referee had long ago raised the flag. So de las Heras Garcia will be technically taking a free kick on the edge of his own 6-yard box, although the referee awaiting for the goalkeeper in gray to boot it forward. I believe de las Heras Garcia still thinks it's a goal kick. Not that it matters at the end. Still equidistant, hardly makes a difference. Back-to-back collision. In other words, the back of Paul McVeigh had collided with that of the midfielder, Pietro Giove. And speaking once more of McVeigh, trying to interfere with Kovacevic, who appeared unbothered. The referee, on the other hand, warning McVeigh. As the neon green number 1 pushes it toward his number 9, Mark Schnattstein. So Schnattstein has just drawn a free kick in a very and potentially profitable place, right on the edge of the final third, right in that transitionary space. Richmond County Football Club can take advantage of this situation if it's able to find a white jersey in a sea of blue. As Michael Mollica stands over the ball, lobs it, lofts it toward the right-hand side. New York Greek American Soccer Club, once more untroubled. Some shoves in the back, some complaints against Francesco Caorsi, as the player from Rome gets away scot-free. Well, to my eye, it would have been hard to really label it as a foul. It seemed like more of a physical contest between those two players. Though the complaints of Richmond County FC are understandable, as two powerful headers contribute to the ping pong game on display here in this Hofstra University venue. A great challenge that isn't able to fully steal away the ball. The Staten Islanders now retreat into their own half. And the Staten Islanders have really had a tough week when it comes to competition. A topic that we will expand upon soon. As New York Greek American Soccer Club has to be careful not to commit the foul inside its own half. Richmond County FC looking for some nearby options. He scans. That's Pietro Giove. Pietro Giove once more receiving the pass. Pietro on the left wing has an open Demian Turi, but instead drops it back for his number 31, Valery Saramutin. Pietro Giove opts not to touch the ball. Instead, it's with Jacob Szymanski. Szymanski with the play toward the right-hand side at the feet of his number 5, Armando Guarnera. As Guarnera, once more receiving the pass from Saramutin on the right-hand side. Not a lot of space to work with. Szymanski decides to boot it away from his own half. And using the heel to interfere is Nico Oberrauch. El Mehdi Yusufi playing it gently for now. It's with Saramutin. Saramutin now playing it toward his number 9, who's inside the penalty area. It was Mark Schnatstein who had tried to stun Daniel de las Heras Garcia toward his near post. He was never really going to scare the goalkeeper. Practically a snapshot attempt. It would have taken a 10 out of 10 finish to get that into the back of the net. A tough shot, but one can respect at least the effort, as we have made it past the 20th minute here. And today's Game and Frame broadcast of the Eastern Premier Soccer League has been brought to you by Salt Athletic. Salt Athletic has made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag to save athletes as well as their nearest and dearest from smelly footwear after the game. The air case blocks smell using antimicrobial technology that makes for odor-free car rides and houses. Learn more about Aircase and place your order by clicking the link below. Keep it fresh. Petridis to Yusufi, El Mehdi Yusufi, asking for the through pass. Somehow it squeezes its way past the defender, past the grasp of Szymanski. It's with Paul McVeigh. McVeigh unable to evade one well-timed challenge by Damian Turi, who might have been playing with fire there, given that he already has a yellow card. Had he been just a nanosecond late, that could have spelled doom, could have spelled some trouble. Maybe not enough for another yellow, but it definitely would have gotten the adrenaline pumping. You never know sometimes with these referees. Though for now, the arbitration staff has been absolutely solid, as that ball has fully crossed the touchline. As he looks for options, Petridis has several inside the 18-yard box. At the end, McVeigh claims that he had received some contact to the back of his head. Nothing egregious for now, however, as Nico Oberrauch plays it toward his left-hand side. As he tries dancing away from the nearest marker, he's forced into retreating nearby the halfway line. Oh, and that's physical defending. That should be a foul, should be a booking. Now, here's the interesting thing. Normally, the referee would allow for advantage, and I thought he was going to do just that. Perhaps he had thought that Nico Oberrauch was never going to get to the ball first, and as a result, he decided to pause the game to issue a yellow card. Now, it does vary on occasion at this level of soccer, from competition to competition, as to how these referees want to institute advantage. When there is a booking-worthy foul, some do automatically pause the game, and that is perhaps what the referee intended to do. But in that hesitation of blowing the whistle, New York Greek American Soccer Club thought it had received the advantage, though let's note that the referee had never signaled for it. So the referee always intended on pausing. Crossed toward the far post. El Mehdi Yusufi trying to surprise the goalkeeper toward the near post. The Staten Island side not giving up so easily. Petridis chasing down his marker. It's with Schnatstein. As Schnatstein plays it toward Giuseppe Barone. Barone curling it toward the far post. Way too long, way too far. Nico. As Nico Oberrauch. Oh, has to defend here. Daniel de las Heras Garcia. Not needed for a save, but his side does concede the first corner kick in this game. really surprising. It caught the very last second deviation from, I believe, a New York Greek American Soccer Club fullback. It was really tough to tell. So with this first corner kick of the game, which took over 23 minutes, 24 minutes now really, to occur, we'll see if the Staten Islanders can take advantage. Cross toward the near post, was never really well elevated. Back inside the penalty area, booted away by the number 16 of New York Greek American Soccer Club, James Nealis, as the team in blue does draw a foul on the left-hand side, not too far away from the touchline. Perhaps a yard or two away from it, in fact. So far, the vanguard of New York American Soccer Club with a quiet night. But we'll see as things do flare up as to whether the front line will remain that quiet. As Achterkamp claims of a high-kicking infraction. Instead, it's still with Richmond County, who blasts that ball away, nearly away from the venue, hitting the scoreboard at the very end of it, an inactive scoreboard, reading Hofstra Pride. Well, you have to do better with those sorts of shots. Schneidstein has now had one decent opportunity. If Achterkamp gives you that much space, you have to punish him for it. He is a solid defender, and if somebody like that is daring you to go for it, yes, you might as well go for it, but you also have to test the goalkeeper. Opted for more power than precision, though there's still a lot of time to make up for it. Claims of an offside against Richmond County Football Club. None are given. And now the winds are starting to build up right behind us here in this venue. And let me tell you, it doesn't feel so pleasant. According to the latest weather reports, this wind makes the 45-degree weather feel like 38 as New York Greek American Soccer Club draws what could be a fiery foul not too far away from the opposition's penalty area. So this could be just about a 35-yard free kick, which is played quickly, trying to stun the back line, crossed high toward the near post. And instead, it's Jetmir Kovicevic who's able to intercept that cross. A cross aimed toward Francesco Caorsi, who in that situation might have had the height advantage. Richmond County FC, who for now in this game, I would argue, have largely controlled possession, continue their dominance when it comes to ball handling. Daniel de las Heras Garcia needed for the initial stop. I'm not sure if the Richmond County forward actually got contact to it, but his movement was just enough to stun the Spanish number 1. For now, Daniel de las Heras Garcia still remains with a clean sheet, but his side is still unable to register a true shot on target after 28 minutes in this game. Currently at the feet of no longer Pietro Giove, but instead Valerie Saramutin. Valerie. It's now at the feet of Peter Gini. Gini, with a ton of traffic to the front and to the back, but at the end, it's the latter that takes it away. It's now with Armando Guarnera. Guarnera, not able to hold on for long. Here comes perhaps New York Greek American Soccer Club, through pass, looking here to craft together a counterattack from the edge of the penalty area. He chips it toward the second post. Here comes New York Greek American Soccer Club! Goal! An emphatic finish by Francesco Caorsi. From Rome with love. Fantastic by Caorsi. A merciless finish toward the bottom corner. And just like that, New York Greek American Soccer Club has not only registered its first true shot, but also its first shot on target and its first goal in this game. It is 1-0 in favor of the home side in blue. A fantastic finish by Caorsi. Or as one would say in Italian, incredibile. Incredible. Looking to respond is Richmond County Football Club. Peter Gini playing it along the right wing. Gini had connected briefly with Brekanovic, if I'm not mistaken. And that aforementioned player has just drawn a foul. Good for about 30 yards away from goal. Maybe a little bit farther back, perhaps 32. So a free kick from approximately 30 to 32 yards away from goal. As he faces a one-man wall, crossed toward the far post. Daniel de las Heras Garcia with a rudimentary save. Was technically never going on target, though he did need to shuffle quite a bit on his goal line as the Spaniard tells his compatriots in blue to move forward. Drops it to his feet, playing it straight from the ground. And while he delivers tons of daggers, really well placed, really well played by the goalkeeper, pinpointing a blue jersey. For now, possession still favors the away side in white, who in this game have really controlled possession. But at the end, it's the scoreboard that wins you the game, as it's 1-0 thanks to Francesco Caorsi, who decided to thunder it toward the bottom corner, far post, from just the edge of the 18-yard box, practically at the penalty arc, if I'm not mistaken. Achterkamp might have committed the sin. The referee waves it away. We are now past the 32nd minute in this game. And as we are 13 minutes away from the halftime whistle, I would like to remind you that with the halftime break on the horizon, to stay tuned during the halftime break to witness the latest Save of the Month nominees. Of course, a shot being attempted there by New York Greek American Soccer Club. It was Francesco Perinelli who was looking to etch his name into the scoreboard. Not a bad effort from outside the 18-yard box, but one that was never going to truly scare Jetmir Kovacevic. And it's gotten chillier here, 44 degrees Fahrenheit, though it feels like 37 according to the latest weather reports. The gusts continue to be the same of 23 miles per hour. As now Petridis, who also goes by the nickname Nico, like Oberrauch, the last to touch the ball. It will be a throw-in for Richmond County Football Club. The nearest player would be Pietro Giove, I believe. Or, pardon me, Pietro Giove was the one who had taken it, looking for a nearby player. As Michael Molica, the last Richmond County player to touch the ball before Petridis was able to poke it away with some help. As overriding that dribble from Paul McVeigh was Francesco Perinelli. Perinelli, it's now inside the 18-yard box. El Mehdi! Goal! El Mehdi Yusofi! El Mehdi Yusofi able to slot it toward the bottom corner. It's 2-0 in favor of New York Greek American Soccer Club. Textbook definition of a long ball play. Quick motions, El Mehdi using his acceleration, his pace to his advantage, and it's 2-0. And perhaps we're not done here, as New York Greek American Soccer Club looking for the third toward the near post. That was never going to stun Yetmir. Once again, Greek Americans in possession of the ball as the ball is high up in the air. Fancy flick of the heel by Perinelli. Jean-Baptiste toward James Nealis, who has the ball prodded away from him, apologizing to Petridis. De las Heras Garcia. Playing it toward a nearby fullback. On the left-hand side, from left to right, Petridis. Petridis filtering this ball toward McVeigh, who tried using the heel, and maybe his fanciness has cost him possession. You could respect the effort, but it didn't come out as well executed as he had hoped. Jean-Baptiste with some high press. Instead, it's with Peter Gini. Gini asking for the pass. Instead, it's towards Schnattstein. Schnattstein! Claimed to be offside, according to the assistant referee's flag. And that is a very tight call. Achterkamp was keeping a very, very tight mark of him. If he was offside, I'd imagine it was no more than by half a body. Although the assistant referee surely got a better angle than we did here. No room for optical illusion. As we are about 9 minutes away from the halftime whistle. Once more, El Mehdi Youssoufi. El Mehdi Youssoufi chops inward. El Mehdi makes a defender fall, laying it over toward a nearby attacker in the form of Perinelli. Perinelli required a two-handed save by Yetmir Kovacevic. Opting for power toward the near post, enough to force the goalkeeper into a misread or error. But Yetmir Kovacevic was well positioned toward the near post. Perinelli with the smart move now, drawing the corner kick as a result. A corner kick that should be an inward swinger. With around 5 Greek-American jerseys inside the 18-yard box. Yetmir got a paw to it. As it's still with the team in blue. Crossed by Nealis toward the second post. It's still with New York Greek-American Soccer Club. Yetmir with the kick save. Well, where was this offense in the opening 25 minutes? I guess they needed some time to warm up from these semi-frigid conditions here in Long Island, New York. But they're right now on hot fire form toward the near post. Perhaps going for the Olympic goal. There was no nearby blue jersey. As Cormac Pike receives that overlapping pass from James Nealis. Back to the aforementioned Nealis. Nealis, left-footed service. An acrobatic effort that would have certainly stolen the limelight. He got contact on it, but it was nowhere near the goal. Nevertheless, one could always admire the ambition. And that certainly would have been a highlight-worthy play played all across the EPSL. Had that shot made its way into the back of the net. The hardest technique in the sport. As said by Pelé himself. As New York Greek-American Soccer Club, without doubt, have drawn a foul really close to the penalty area. Give or take 7 yards away, so this should be a free kick from around 25 yards away from goal. I believe drawing it, if I'm not mistaken, was Joseph Wright. I think I had seen an 18. Hard to truly confirm. But for now, the result is the same. New York Greek-American Soccer Club with a 25-yard free kick. Petridis alongside Nealis stand over the ball. Nealis is the one that takes it with his left foot! Oh, it's offside! A diving header in vain. I am not sure if he was completely offside. Really tight, really difficult to call, but the assistant referee had already raised it before Oberrauch had made contact with the ball with the top of his skull. Richmond County FC with Giuseppe Barone. Giuseppe Barone dropping it all the way back. Giuseppe back to Armando Guarnera. Guarnera with a semi-lobbed pass toward the right wing. Now crossed, an early cross. That's dealt with by the team in blue. Quick plays. This is how they scored that second goal with El Mehdi Youssoufi. El Mehdi. As it's now crossed, ultimately to no nearby blue jersey. So that doesn't mean the opportunity is still fresh, still live. Petridis locked in a challenge. Petridis asking for a handball against Michael Mollica as he was caught in a duel with James Nealis. Dropped back toward Cormac Pike alongside Daniel de las Heras Garcia. Play toward the left-hand side, Nico Oberrauch. As Jean Baptiste had pointed toward Cormac Pike, but instead he drives it forward himself. As the Haitian American was not on the receiving end of that quick 1-2 play, addressing to his teammates what he had truly wanted, perhaps for any future context. Not too far away from the halftime whistle, are we? Richmond County Football Club at least looking to diminish this 2-goal deficit, despite the fact that in the first half of this first half, the Staten Islanders had controlled ball time. Jean Baptiste not able to fully corral it, but he does have some help from El Mehdi Youssoufi. That should be a yellow card. Things are getting chippy. Things are getting fiery here in this frigid night, in this frigid venue. Oh, now there are shoves. There are dives. There are players on the ground. The referee must instill order once more. It was a sliding challenge from behind that had caused all this chaos. Now, I'm wondering what the referee will do here, because he was already about to pull out a yellow card, but as soon as that sequence was about to happen, suddenly there was a storm of white and an ocean of blue that had collided with one another by the halfway line as the two teams now convene. Now, El Mehdi Youssoufi undoubtedly was one who had drawn the foul. His pace will punish you, as shown by the second goal in this game. As to who had committed the foul, not quite so sure in this moment, but the only player truly speaking with El Mehdi is Giuseppe Barone. It is truly hard to tell as the assistant referee and lead referee share some words, I believe, in front of the coaching staff. Okay, so interestingly here, the fourth official is reporting everything he had seen to the lead referee. As now the fourth official has reported everything to the referee, who is going to pull a card here. Oh, that's a red! That's a red, but against whom? Oh, that's a red to the New York Greek American. Certainly that can't be the only color being shown. He may be pulling out the second red here, if not a yellow. Lots of questions, but no answers, and assuming that red card is only issued to New York Greek American Soccer Club, it would be, I believe, Nico Oberrauch who has received the red card. I saw a number 4 on the back of that jersey. as the referee continues to discuss. Well, who would have thought that out of that situation, it would be a New York Greek American Soccer Club player drawing the red card, or pardon me, suffering from the red card. Oh, and here comes the team in blue, absolutely surrounding the referee, trying to plead their case, trying to understand what exactly had gone wrong. Still unable to 100% confirm if it was Oberrauch, but what we can confirm was that it was a red card issued against New York Greek American Soccer Club. The referee's not done there, however. He's ready to pull out another card. Now, the red card, I can only imagine, would come as a result of the shoving. Because there was one player, one Richmond player, down on the ground. And if it wasn't the number 8, Michael Molika, it was likely the number 9, Mark Schnattstein. It was quite hard to tell. There were so many bodies. Not to mention that the jersey number was down on the ground. Hard to really identify the player that way. But what we can identify and confirm is that it is a red card against New York Greek American Soccer Club. So it is in fact against the number 4. It is against Nico Oberrauch. So Oberrauch has seen curtain calls, ejected from the game after a convention of 3 arbitrators. Make that 4 now. Practically the assistant referee is there. 2 assistant referees are there, as well as the 4th official who had reported everything to the lead referee, as Drew Jean-Baptiste hopes to apply his words of wisdom to the referee, trying to calmly yet passionately plead his case. Now I'm wondering, will a yellow card be issued to Richmond County FC? Because there is no doubt in my mind that El Mehdi Youssoufi had drawn a yellow card worthy foul, a challenge that was way too late, way from behind, that 10 out of 10 times will finish as a booking. And just like that, we've already crossed stoppage time here, and there will be another card, the referee telling the player to approach him, I believe. But the referee hasn't made it clear as to whom that yellow card has been issued. And the 4th official continues to discuss something with the main referee. Well, what a bewildering sequence we've seen here. New York Greek American Soccer Club wins the free kick, but at what cost? Apparently a red card issued against Oberrauch, the number 4 for today of New York Greek American Soccer Club. Likely after some shoving, as now the team in blue must play with a 1-man disadvantage. In other words, with 10 players, 9 outfielders. Another free kick, though this one against New York Greek American Soccer Club. The referee must instill order in this game once more. Things are getting way too fearsome. As the Alino Americani must find a way to alleviate the disadvantage of having to play with 10 players. De las Heras Garcia able to hold on to the ball just on the edge of the penalty area. Some good shuffling from the goalkeeper. We are now approaching the 49th minute, or more appropriately, the 45 plus 4 minute of this game. Officially complete. We are now technically within the 45 plus 5. Fancy flick of the heel. New York Greek American Soccer Club looking for a penalty. Referee says no. It was an astute use of the heel from Francesco Caorsi, who had filtered it to Francesco Perinelli. Counterattack for Richmond! Over the bar! And just like that, it is halftime. Well, what a way to blow the whistle to mark the end of the first half. Tons of blue shirts surrounding the referee, who's not alone. He has backup in the form of one assistant referee. Well, in the matter of around 7 minutes or so, we have seen lots of drama, lots of controversy that makes for some scintillating soccer in this Sunday night bout. A fantastic showdown. New York Greek American Soccer Club welcomes the advantage of a 2-goal lead against Richmond County FC. However, the former must play with a 10-man count on the field, of course, due to the red card. Will more drama ensue? Well, tune into the second half, but also do make sure to stay tuned during the halftime break, during which we will show not only the plays of the week as well as the halftime analysis, but also the latest Save of the Month candidates here on Game in Frame. This is the Eastern Premier Soccer League Metropolitan Conference on Game in Frame.
Ruiz struck it well. Mormont tips it onto the crossbar. Fabulous save by William Mormont. That looked destined to rip a hole in the back of the net, but Mormont with the quick reactions, the slightest of touches, but it was enough to redirect it onto the crossbar.
See some runners in behind. It's Kapaka who can't get it. It's Jansen who curls it. An acrobatic save, but the threat not yet over. A sliding challenge from the captain. Soderberg called into action in the waning moments of the match and comes up with a massive save.
How's your bottle? Oh, it's saved by the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper on goalkeeper crime. Across the stadium. Joe Holland, that's lovely football. And Borte tipping it away from that back post acrobatically.
At right leg, Agustin, Cameron Beal goes down, referee signals for advantage! Munoz required for a two-handed save!
Richmond County coming down their left. Shot, great save from the keeper, ball still in, second chance, another save from the keeper! Beautiful two saves there from Daniel DeMarco.
Head. But the second ball gathered. Fabulous save by Sabanin to tip it onto the crossbar. There was an absolute pile driver, and Sabanin with his fingertips keeping the score level.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
That's a good bit of footwork there by Spalding. It's gone for a spacious shot! It's magnificent by Spalding! You guys have your eyes set on the South. Why is that the next destination for the EPSL?
Well, basically for the same reason we want to be in the Northeast. We want to provide teams that want to play at a higher level with higher standards, higher field standards, higher match day standards as a whole, an opportunity to play at an affordable cost.
Our conference is the newest conference, or one of the newer conferences, and like even from the jump, like year one, we had players go pro because they're able to continue playing at a high level, they're able to get footage of themselves playing at a high level, and then they're able to market themselves off of that experience. So we've had multiple players go pro from our conference, even though, you know, it's only been around 2 or 3 years.
He's going to send it over the top. John Brown is onside. He can seal the deal here. Never in doubt. Supreme confidence by a man who's at the top of his game.
Holland, Rosero, beautiful Junior Rosero! Well, that was an emphatic strike.
Cisse pushing forward. Looking up to see who he can pass the ball to. Takes a shot instead and scores!
They'll punch it back in. For one! Great save! A second! That almost came up on the hand of Gottlieb. His chance is still gone, and not away. That's 2 saves for Priyanka.
Sebastian Ruiz. That's floating. Great ball! Solano equalises for Renegades! And the cup dream is alive once again!
He spins very well, once, not once, but twice.
Drop the possession right back to the feet of Clift. Clift slides one in.
Diving header. Bonfils for 2.
So good all game, Chang, but it's one back, and Kershuba could be in now, and Kershuba, what a save that is!
Looks like it was a handball claim for the team in black. And Perez is out of net, and Body finds the net, and he scores!
Cristino, oh, it's a beautiful flick on Argudo. Does he take it himself? Yes, he does!
It'll be Bacon shooting for the far post. It's in! She beat the goalkeeper to the far post, and it's 1-0. Bacon with a free kick.
If he misses this, Renegades are very nearly home. Edward saves it! The fairy tale is within Renegades' grasp!
This from his man to Campos, and Campos is... Oh.
With the halftime break now over, it will be Richmond County Football Club starting this second half with the ball at its feet. However, before we can truly analyze what had happened in that first half, I want to remind you that you have just finished watching the latest candidates for the Save of the Month award right here on Game in Frame. So let us know which goal denier was your favorite by commenting under the pertinent Instagram post at Game in Frame before tonight at 11:59 p.m. You practically have just a little over 2 hours in order to do so, given our clock right now at this moment. So do make sure to hurry and show those goalkeepers some love. Also, this match wouldn't be possible without the support of Salt Athletic. However, before we were able to continue with that, Richmond County Football Club attacking, crossing toward the second post. He's unable to fully control it. It was Mark Schnattstein, who once more serving as a target man with his impressive height. Another situation involving that. Unable to win the first battle, nor the second. Jean Baptiste with a step-up kick. So going back to Salt Athletic has made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag to save athletes as well as their nearest and dearest from smelly footwear after the game. The Aircase blocks smell using antimicrobial technology that makes for odor-free car rides and houses. So, of course, learn more about Aircase and place your order by clicking the link below. Keep it fresh. as that pass is way too long. Not enough curl. Daniel de las Heras Garcia keeping it live with his feet inside his own penalty area as he takes his time. Nobody pressuring the goalkeeper in gray to pick it up until Mark Schnattstein forced the Spaniard into collecting it into his gloves. The gray number 1 dropping it back to his feet. Well, he has a way of pinpointing these passes. Excellent distributor of the ball. Now let's talk about the first half. As you may have seen right here on this broadcast, New York Greek American Soccer Club is playing down a man due to a red card issued to Nico Oberrauch. The Italian issued a red card most likely for a shove after there was a slight skirmish, and that's putting it diplomatically, by the halfway line on the far side. It was El Mehdi Yousofi who had drawn the foul, a sliding challenge from behind that was already going to be given a yellow card. Remember, El Mehdi was the victim. He was the one who had drawn the foul. But as soon as the referee marched over to the Richmond County player to issue him the yellow card, suddenly chaos ensued and erupted on that side of the field. Shoves surrounding the referee, surrounding one another, grabbing each other by the collar, essentially. Anything but a friendly chat. And as a result, the fourth official, after much stoppage, in fact, that had gone into the 45th plus 5th, I suppose, minute, the fourth official had indicated that Oberrauch was the one who had committed an egregious act. And as a result, he has received a red card. Richmond County Football Club. On the edge of the final third, Daniel de las Heras Garcia shuffling on his goal line. Still with the team in white. It's Pietro Giove. Pietro Giove asking for a handball, asking for a foul more accurately. And as a result, the Richmond County players will be receiving a free kick from around 25 yards away from goal toward the left-hand side. A recurring theme throughout this game, the matter of discipline. As perhaps one could hear head coach Brekanovic telling his players to crash the box, trying to flood the opposition's penalty area with numbers, with white jerseys, crossed toward the far post. Was never going to be Drew Jean-Baptiste. A man as cool as a cucumber. A challenge from behind, the referee now issuing for a foul by the halfway line. It was exactly a distance where we had seen the foul called against drawn by El Mehdi. So that's a yellow card against Richmond County Football Club, more precisely against Ace Mohamedou Ndaye. So Ace Mohamedou Ndaye with the yellow card. And continuing with discipline, for New York Greek American Soccer Club, it's not only to uphold that now that you're down to 10 men on the field, but it's also the matter of playing a shutdown defense. As straightforward as that sounds, you are down to 10 players, you have a 2-goal advantage. Make sure to protect that with everything on the line here, with a chance to overtake first place, currently being held by New York Pan Cyprian Freedoms. However, if the Greek Americans' key to the game is to play a shutdown defense, needless to say, Richmond County Football Club must make sure to punish the team in blue for playing with such a disadvantage. They must add on to the fire by tallying their own goals here in this scoreboard. It is still 2-0. Let's recall that Richmond County Football Club had the home side on the ropes for the first half of the first half. Defensively and offensively. That being said, the Staten Islanders find themselves behind in the scoreline. Daniel de las Heras Garcia had it all under control, a shot that soared well wide and well over. So your keys to the game are as follows. For New York Greek American Soccer Club, It's to improve the discipline and to play a shutdown defense, continue the solidness, especially now with the 10-man disadvantage. As for Richmond County FC, clearly and naturally, they must make sure to capitalize on that red card issued to its opponent tonight. And they must find a way to not waste those chances in front of goal. Not only to create, but not to waste. Two very important elements that we had seen as the first half continued. Greek Americans inside the penalty area, trying to stun Yetmir to his near post, who wastes no time playing this goal kick. Well, I expect to be seeing more and more counterattacks by New York Greek American Soccer Club. The first goal scored by Kaorsi. Kaorsi, of course, hailing from Rome, then had that goal lead doubled by El Mehdi Youssoufi, who placed it toward the far post bottom corner from a blink and you miss it sequence of rapid action, as McVeigh asks for a foul, is denied that. It's Peter Gini. Gini has the ball poked away from him by James Nealis. Throw in for Peter Gini and co. And from Gini it goes to Barone. Giuseppe. Back to Gini. As Peter Gini might have gotten an extra piece of contact against Francesco Perinelli. Gini. A solid throw-in that only encounters a blue mural. Second chance, perhaps, as Peter Gini. On the right-hand side has Giuseppe Barone, asked to switch the ball, according to head coach Brekanovic. And for now, it's Demian Turi who contests for the ball, I believe against Francesco Kaorsi, as Yetmir Kovacevic plays it toward the nearest defender. 10 minutes of this second half have gone by. And wow, time flies when you're having fun. I didn't even realize 10 minutes have gone by so quickly. As here comes Schnattstein. Schnattstein retreats back into the penalty area. Ndaye is Mohamedou Ndaye. Asking for the pass, denied because of a switch play toward the left-hand side. Left-footed cross dealt with by Achterkamp. Lovely use of the outside part of the foot. A lobbed trivela pass, in other words, that Paul McVeigh is unable to profit from, given the no-call foul against him. Tons of traffic. One could argue that he was trying to draw the foul. Peter Gini crossed toward the far post, narrowly missing Adnan Zaganyor, the Montenegrin player. And at the end, it's New York Greek American Soccer Club that draws the foul, give or take 5 yards in front of its own 18-yard box. Richmond County Football Club, coached by Khalid Brekanovic. New York Greek American Soccer Club, coached by Jimmy Shalom. Oh, lots of legs being tangled there, as Ace Mohamedou Ndaye goes down on the ground quite slowly. Here comes New York Greek American Soccer Club. El Mehdi Youssoufi trying to stun Yetmir. So Ace Mohamedou Ndaye, slow to get up, was likewise slow to go down. His feet had tangled with that or those of Francesco Perinelli. That being said, no booking has been issued, no complications whatsoever. a mild second half in comparison to the end of the first. Here comes Richmond County Football Club. It's still with Schneiderstein! Daniel de las Heras Garcia, solid two hands. The goalkeeper was likewise well positioned on the edge of his 6-yard box, closing down the angle. And we were talking about not wasting these sorts of chances. Schneiderstein has had a somewhat busy night, though perhaps he must be thinking to himself, and rightfully so, that should have ended up in the back of the net. Maybe a second chance here for the gigantic number 9. Schneiderstein had to make sure he's not offside for that shot, but it doesn't matter as it's immediately blocked by a blue jersey. El Mehdi Yusufi dispossessed. Berinelli chasing down his marker. Same could be said for McVeigh, who jockeys over toward Ace Mohamedou Ndaye. Peter Gini with one stutter step plays it back toward Ndaye. Barone playing it toward the left-hand side. It turns into a dummy pass alongside the left edge, crossed inside the 18-yard box. New York Greek American Soccer Club not trying to concede the first in this game, trying to maintain that clean sheet. As it's still with Barone. Driven pass back to Barone. Barone blocked by Drew Jean-Baptiste. And McVeigh has time to think about it, or so one would think. Instead, it's a nifty and crafty takeaway by Demian Turi. As the away side threatens the left wing, crossing it toward the right-hand side. It was Andan Zagagnon who threw his head, hoping that it would dip fast enough to connect with the top of his skull. Instead, it goes out of play. Zagagnon, of course, a very familiar name in the New York City soccer scene, having played in the Cosmopolitan Soccer League, and now here, of course, in the Eastern Premier Soccer League. Berinelli dueling with Ace Mohamedou Ndaye, the latter, of course, emerging victorious with a quick pass. Adnan Zagagnon, the Montenegrin, playing it toward his number 21, Pietro Giove. Demian Turi. Richmond County with one shoulder feint. He goes toward the left-hand side, driving it forward. Claims of a foul, waved away by the referee. And it's a goal kick for the home side, who has the 2-goal advantage. So for a 2-goal upper hand that has yet to be truly threatened, bar that one chance by Schneiderstein that forced Daniel de las Heras Garcia into a kneeling save. One that for now, perhaps Schneiderstein will be playing over and over again in his brain. It's hardly obvious that New York Greek American Soccer Club is playing with 10 as El Mehdi Yusufi, thinking about another goal contribution, instead wins the throw-in. And according to the latest score updates here in the Eastern Premier Soccer League, New York Penn Cyprian Freedoms are still 0-0 with New York Athletic Club until the 75th minute, where Forster made it 1-0 in favor of the New York Penn Cyprian Freedoms. So assuming that result and this result remain the same in terms of score lines, New York Penn Cyprian Freedoms would remain at the top of the table with 25 points, whereas New York Greek American Soccer Club would be in second place with just 22. A foul drawn by Achterkamp. as the free kick will be played by the team in blue. Driven toward the chest of Perinelli. Good control of the torso as well. Perinelli evades two. Perinelli still on the right wing and is immediately contested for the ball, is stripped of it by Pietro Giove and company. And the ball goes out of play, throw in for the home side. And of course, New York Greek American Soccer Club playing with a one-man disadvantage, a red card issued circa the 45th minute or so, really in stoppage time. As that ball is back in play, McVeigh tries poking it away from his opponent. And now Richmond County Football Club can generate a counterattack here. Along the left-hand side, Schneidstein goes down. Now I saw a shoulder-to-shoulder charge. Schneidstein astutely wins the foul, but New York Greek American Soccer Club has a true case to argue with the referee there. Though one can't deny the craftiness of the Richmond County number 9. Again, a red card was issued to Oberrauch around the 45th minute. Free kick taken by the away side. Jean-Baptiste not needed for that sequence. I believe at the end it was actually his captain for today that had gotten his head to it. Speaking of interfering here, Daniel de las Heras Garcia taking his time. Still 2-0 here. As that ball is booted forward. So again, assuming this result stands on that of New York Penn Cyprian Freedoms, New York Greek Americans would overtake second place, depriving Lansdowne Yonkers. And again, Penn Cyprian Freedoms currently winning its match 1-0. As the ball is still live here. From Long Island, New York, a very physical contest. The referee waves it away. However, he's still looking for some vengeance there, wrestling his opponent all the way down to the ground. Suddenly turning rabid like a wolverine. Though nothing booking worthy, admittedly. But still, one does have to be careful. The referee has already issued one red card and a handful of yellows. Certainly, this referee is unafraid of pulling out the cards from the pocket. As El Mehdi wins himself some space, Yusufi already has one goal in this game. Denied of another opportunity. Well past the hour mark are we, with this being the 66th minute, in fact. Officially, since we've crossed the 65th. Still chilly here in Long Island, New York, as Kemal Brekanovic plays it toward the left wing, crossed toward the far post. Adnan Zaganyor doing everything in his power to chase down that ball, but it's way too far, way too long. It would have required a miracle for Adnan Zaganyor to somehow generate something, any sort of goal-scoring chance from that long, long ball. As Daniel de las Heras Garcia has to be careful to not burn too many seconds off the clock. After all, we are about 25 minutes away from the full-time whistle, or second half whistle, if you want to call it that. As Richmond County Football Club on the edge of the penalty arc, just outside the 18-yard box, switching sides. Too many touches, too many passes. Someone has to pull the trigger. That's perhaps one thing that this away side is missing. They need somebody that's absolutely cold-blooded, just like El Mehdi Youssoufi inside the penalty area. Has some contests, has a competition against Ace Mohamedou Ndaye, and he ends up winning it, drawing yet another foul. Let's remember that Ndaye already has a yellow card. Ooh, you know, Ndaye might have just gotten away with it. I don't know how Ndaye talked himself out of it right there. Showing to the referee, I didn't do enough. As El Mehdi did draw the foul. Let's remember that the first time that had happened, or really not the first time, but the most notable time that had happened, occurred around the end of the first half, within the final 5 minutes plus stoppage, in which he had received a sliding tackle from behind, one that was worthy of a yellow card against the away side, but it had caused so much chaos that Oberrauch of New York Greek American Soccer Club instead was shown the red card. We are now past the 68th minute here, where things have been the same since the first half. Corner kick to be taken in reality. A free kick on paper, a corner kick in effect, essentially. As here comes the away team with Peter Gini. Gini toward a nearby midfielder, taking advantage of the real estate. Looking for options. Back to Giuseppe Barone. Barone, back to Gini. Looking to produce some magic. He goes for a conservative pass toward Barone. Temporarily made its way toward Armando Guarnera. Winds build up behind us here. Pietro Giove playing it centrally toward the midfielder. Fakes one way, goes another. Jean-Baptiste will never be beaten like that. Oh, that should be a foul called. El Mehdi Youssoufi is clearly a magnet for fouls. I'm surprised the referee didn't blow the whistle for that. Crossed. Jean-Baptiste dealing with it. Youssoufi, booting it away, and he even knows it himself. A waste of a kick, as he apologizes to McVeigh. Richmond County Football Club with Giuseppe Barone. Plays it toward a nearby midfielder on the edge of the 18-yard box. Lots of traffic in the way, and it's a smooth, like a criminal interception. That was Francesco Caorsi. And that's El Mehdi Youssoufi, who makes his way past Ndaye, using his head with some seal touches, with some delicate dribbling. One step over, two step overs. The Moroccan forward, hoping that McVeigh could have positioned himself better. As McVeigh plays it toward Perinelli, who has been a lifeline in the neutral third, especially as the game has gone by. It's toward Nealis. Nealis has Ndaye marking him. Nealis cutting it inward with the left foot. It's still live. Youssoufi. A delicate pass. He's onside. Nealis playing it out wide, crossing it. McVeigh once more back to ball chasing. McVeigh goes down. Should be a yellow, could be a yellow. There was an extra piece of contact. The referee rushes over. The assistant referee likewise ensuring that McVeigh is all right. Well, what a way to end your Sunday night here when it comes to Eastern Premier Soccer League action. It seems like this game is averaging one foul every 2 to 3 minutes. That's at least what it's felt like. And these aren't just your normal drive-bys. No, these are full-on crunching challenges. Ones that either come late, are mistimed, or may have a touch of malice to them, if not desperation. So yet again, another free kick, a de facto corner kick. This free kick toward the near post, it bounces off the shoulder of Yusufi. Ball is still live. Rare to see an opportunity like that wasted by the number 7, as that's a no-nonsense clearance from the wearer of the captain's armband, Hermanus Achterkamp. As I thought we were expecting here a personnel change. Apparently not. It'll just be an equipment change. It is still 2-0 with about 18 minutes left, now 17 in reality. With just a little over 17 minutes left before the full-time whistle, Richmond County Football Club is hoping to avoid its first loss in November. To Giuseppe Barone, playing it toward the center attacking midfielder who claims of a handball. Mark Schnattstein playing it toward the right-hand side, back to that midfielder who is unable to readily pull the trigger, immediately encountering a wall. They're just missing that final touch, that final killing blow to make it 2-1 or perhaps 2-2, though it will take a lot of improvement here within these final 17 minutes, now 16 and a half minutes. As the ball is poked out of play by James Nealis, it's El Mehdi Yusufi who's down on the ground, who undoubtedly has made an argument for himself to be the unofficial man of the match here, scoring that respectable goal to make it 2-0 toward the far post bottom corner. He has also been a magnet for fouls, as I have said before, and he is for now replaced by Daniel Bedoya. As the drop ball is issued, booted forward, McVeigh almost taking the ball away. It was Armando Guarnera who defended that ball with his life. Ball booted forward toward the head of Adnan Zaganyor. Played now toward the left-hand side where Schnattstein is waiting. As he enters the penalty area, denied by Drew Jean-Baptiste and company. So in their last 2 matches, Richmond County Football Club has gone undefeated, winning at the home of Zumschneider FC in a 5-1 bout, and most recently tying Lansdowne Junkers FC, a noteworthy tie, 1-1. After this match, the away side in white will be contesting against Kid Super Samba AC. New York Greek Americans not trying to concede, as Ndaye keeps the ball live just a yard or two in front of the corner kick spot. Still with the team in white, maybe looking for a penalty. Instead, try drawing a corner kick. Still in the final third, looking to make it 2-1. Ndaye receiving the pass out wide, crossed toward the far post, connects with the head. That ball flying well over the goal. More substitutions here, as we will confirm who's exiting and who's entering soon enough. I believe McVeigh has received curtain calls, though We'll confirm that soon enough. Or perhaps his body language had fooled me. So apologies for that. Although James Nealis is signaling to be substituted with a limp. So James Nealis has exited the game under his own accord. Trying to confirm who has replaced him for now. As it's somewhat hard to tell. He still has yet to show his back to us. There we go. As now the referee walks over. What has gone on here? Oh, for time wasting. Daniel de las Heras Garcia taking way too much time, burning way too many seconds. We were talking about that early into the second half, around the hour mark. It's now the 78th minute, and he pulls off this antic. However, McVeigh, unable to punish the away side fully, McVeigh ends up drawing the foul. So entering the game, by the way, for New York Greek American Soccer Club is Joseph Wright. New York Greek American Soccer Club has been undefeated in its last 3 matches, where it first beat Doxa FCW in a Hellenic derby of sorts, 2-1. Followed that performance up with a 4-1 win at the home of Manhattan Celtic, and completed its 3rd away match in a row with a victory in a 4-2 affair versus Kid Super Samba AC, despite being down initially in that scoreline. After this match, New York Greek American Soccer Club will be playing against another Hellenic foe in a titanic clash versus New York Penn Cyprian Freedoms on December 15th under EPSL circumstances. Likewise, according to the EPSL stats, Ahmedi Yusufi in this match had scored his 4th goal of the season. As McVeigh has the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box, plays it back out wide, and now one could only wonder, is he trying to win a play here? In fact, he does. Evades 2, not the 3rd, however. Ball continues to bounce around live, almost a fortunate ricochet for New York Greek American Soccer Club, as it hopped around inside the 6-yard box. It's still with Perinelli, as Perinelli is unable to stun the goalkeeper in neon green. Played in the neutral third, Richmond County Football Club, with not too much time left. In fact, they have just a little over 10 minutes left. Adnan Zaganyor pressuring Drew Jean-Baptiste into clearing it toward the nearest sideline. Ace Mohamedou Ndaye with a throw-in. Taken away by New York Greek American Soccer Club, who have existed as an organization since 1946. One of the most historic clubs in all of American soccer. Richmond County Football Club, one of the newest faces that represents American soccer here, especially in the New York City scene, being established in 2016 as Adnan Zaganyor encountered a lot of traffic. It was Drew Jean-Baptiste that eventually ejected that ball as Ace switches sides with that cross. A second chance here as he shoots it toward the far post, almost stunning the goalkeeper in gray. Not at all a bad effort from Peter Gini. That's exactly what Richmond County FC needs. Somebody who's unafraid to take his chances and likewise has the skill to back it up. As Ace Mohamedou Ndaye is replaced, shortly confirming who is the new player. As he turns around immediately, it's Yoni Zakoshansky who enters the game. And Jean-Baptiste makes sure not to commit the foul. He was drawing the foul there. Made really obvious to the referee. And it's good arbitrating at the end that he didn't fall for it. As Bedoya merely jockeys the nearest ball handler, or nearly jockeys around the ball handler. Peter Gini, who last took that shot, Adnan Zaganyor, with too much traffic in the way, not being able to find that easy pass to really glide by this back line. Clearly there's a toll to pay, but New York Greek American Soccer Club hasn't let Richmond County know how much. As we're expecting more substitutions for the home side in blue, McVeigh is now replaced. And the latest entry, where's the number 14? It's Tim Gallagher-DeMay, who in fact got his first touch on the ball right there. Shot toward the far post! Left some gasping here in this Long Island venue. Maybe our angle made it look a lot closer than everyone else had perceived it. More substitutions in effect within these final minutes of the game, now that we've crossed the 83rd minute. So leaving the game is Francesco Perinelli. And replacing Francesco Perinelli is Adam Marcu. Toward the right wing it bounces. Marcu, who likewise helped with the coaching staff today, interestingly, according to what he had told me. So almost playing a player-manager role today, more or less. New York Greek Americans, just over 5 minutes away, according to the full-time whistle here, without stoppage time, from its 4th victory in a row. Bedoya volleying that pass toward Achterkamp de las Heras Garcia. Played back toward the goalkeeper, Kovacevic, playing it toward a nearby defender. Exactly 5 minutes remain in this fixture as various blue jerseys surround Giuseppe Barone, who plays it toward the left wing indirectly via a pass from a left back. Asking for the pass is Andre Ruggiero. Ruggiero, who has nobody marking him on the right-hand side. In fact, that right wing is left completely vulnerable. One well-placed cross could be deadly for New York Greek American Soccer Club, though Richmond County is unable to take advantage. In fact, they lose the ball via this throw-in. Both goals in this fixture coming from the first half, thanks to Kaorsi and Yusofi, respectively, and in that order. As there's a chase for the ball, both players hustling for it, and it's a grounded clearance. By Cormac Pike. The number 25 for today. As one of the latest entries in this game, Tim Gallagher-DeMay tries to implement his presence into the back line of his opposition. Cormac Pike with some physical defending. Adnan Zaganyor was unable to place it on target. Ball is still live outside the 18-yard box. with not too many options. Andrea Ruggiero. Ruggiero may need a follow-up chance here. It's a throw-in for the away team that has exactly 3 minutes left until the full-time whistle, assuming there is no stoppage time. In this chilly affair on this November night. 43 degrees Fahrenheit. Feels like 36 according to the latest weather reports. But let's see if this Greek American is as ice cold as the weather. Adamarku goes down. The referee quick to wave it away. Richmond County Football Club. Now looking to reply, Peter Gini. Gini has Bedoya marking him tightly as Zakoshansky unable to do much with it. De las Heras Garcia kicking it away from the nearest touchline toward his left-hand side. Adamarku continues to writhe on the ground. Now, it was really hard to tell if there was any contact. I don't believe there was, at least not enough to really draw the foul. I'll confess, I didn't hear any collision of cleats, nor shin guards for that matter. But Adamarku's back up on his own 2 feet. As Adamarku asks the referee to explain as to why, how it's not a foul. Achterkamp. Achterkamp with a pass toward Joseph Ryan, who had a strong first touch. Richmond County Football Club now has 70 seconds before the full-time whistle to find at least one goal, a consolation goal, or maybe generate a miraculous comeback. I can only imagine there's about 2 to 3 more minutes of stoppage time. This second half hasn't been as chaotic as the end of the first. Played toward the right wing, Peter Gini. Gini crossing it toward the near post, cleared away by Achterkamp, the skipper for the team in blue today. Final 30 seconds before the 90th minute itself. Adnan Zangayur controlling with the right, pushing with the left, passing with the right. Bedoya doesn't touch the ball, and at the end, Peter Gini must concede the throw-in. And Bedoya won't be taking this throw-in. As it's driven along the left wing, Marcu was very clearly offside, and he knows it himself. Hard to argue against that, and according to the fourth official, from what I've heard here, 4 more minutes have been added. In other words, Richmond County Football Club must average a goal every 2 minutes in these final moments. Nothing impossible, especially with the 10-man disadvantage, and when you see stuff like that, it frustrates anybody. It's really silly at the end to commit a handball like that. A touch fortunate that he wasn't issued a yellow card, perhaps. At least the referee's understanding here. I recall seeing something like that from Barcelona. If I remember correctly, it might have been Neymar who had committed it, and that was many moons ago. As well as something similarly done by Xavi. Again, we are now talking about more than a decade ago about. Regardless, Richmond County FC let off the hook, no booking. Bedoya squeezes past two in a very masterful manner. Although apparently in vain. It will be a free kick for Richmond County Football Club. Final 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Crossed, an early cross, It never even reached the 18-yard box, so it was Achterkamp who drove it forward. Achterkamp looking for a goal of his own. The captain with one strong touch to bury them, to bury the opportunity. Instead, it's Yetmir who emerges huge, dribbles it outside his 18-yard box. And that's a sign of good sportsmanship. In that quick sequence, Achterkamp congratulated Yetmir on the save. The two even shared a brief laugh. A good sign of sportsmanship, especially to ease the tensions that we had seen at the end of the first half. It's good to see two locker room leaders of two opposite sides recognizing the skill of one another and even sharing a laugh. Albeit a brief one. Crossed toward the far post. Still a clean sheet for New York Greek American Soccer Club. The 93rd minute of stoppage time nearly complete here, as it's dropped all the way back to Kovacevic. This would be the fourth win in a row for New York Greek American SC. As perhaps New York Greek American Soccer Club got away with two fouls. It's still with the team in white, bounces off the upper arm of the Staten Islander. Gini toward Guarnera. Guarnera crossed toward the far post! Saved! No! Goal! No. Hold on a minute. Let's see. He called a foul there. Oh, and let's be careful there. We're hearing tons of not so PG language. And again, we were talking about how Achterkamp and Yetmir seemingly ease the tensions, but not for long, as Marcu, he's offside now. The assistant referee late to really raise the flag, and Marcu knew it himself. Never even bothered to complain. In fact, he seemed more shocked that he might have been onside. But just like that, that is the final touch of the ball. And with the final whistle being blown, the full-time result is New York Greek American Soccer Club 2, Richmond County Football Club 0. That being said, do stay tuned for some more post-match action. The first goal in this game scored by Kaorsi. The second goal in this game scored by Yusofi. And despite the one-man disadvantage, it's still a Greek American night, 2-0. Once more, do stay tuned for some post-match action. You have been watching the Eastern Premier Soccer League on Game in Frame.
Ruiz struck it well. Moment tips it onto the crossbar. Fabulous save by William Moment. That looked destined to rip a hole in the back of the net, but Moment with the quick reactions, the slightest of touches, but it was enough to redirect it onto the crossbar.
See some runners in behind. It's Kapaka who can't get it. It's Jansen who curls it. An acrobatic save, but the threat not yet over. A sliding challenge from the captain. Soderberg called into action in the waning moments of the match and comes up with a massive save.
How's your bottle? Oh, it's saved by the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper on goalkeeper crime. Across the stadium. Joe Holland, that's lovely football, and Borte tipping it away from that back post acrobatically.
That right leg, Agustin, Cameron Beal goes down, referee signals for advantage! Munoz required for a two-handed save!
To rip a hole in the back of the net, but Moment with the quick reactions, the slightest of touches, but it was enough to redirect it onto the crossbar.
See some runners in behind. It's Kapaka who can't get it. It's Jansen who curls it. An acrobatic save, but the threat not yet over. A sliding challenge from the captain. Soderberg called into action in the waning moments of the match and comes up with a massive save.
How's your bottle? Oh, it's saved by the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper on goalkeeper crime. Across the stadium. Joe Holland, that's lovely football, and Borte tipping it
away from that back post, acrobatically.
That right leg, Agustin, Cameron Beal goes down, referee signals for advantage! Munoz required for a two-handed save!
Richmond County coming down their left. Shot. Great save from the keeper. Ball still in, second chance. Another save from the keeper. Beautiful two saves there from Daniel DeMarco.
Head. But the second ball gathered. Fabulous save by Sabaden to tip it onto the crossbar. It was an absolute pile driver, and Sabaden with his fingertips keeping the score level.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The salt air case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
That's a good bit of footwork there by Spalding. It's gone for a spaceship shot! It's magnificent by Spalding! You guys have your eyes set on the South. Why is that the next destination for the EPSL?
Well, basically for the same reason we want to be in the Northeast. We want to provide teams that want to play at a higher level with higher standards, higher field standards, higher match day standards as a whole, an opportunity to play at an affordable cost.
Our conference is the newest conference, or one of the newer conferences, and like even from the jump, like year one, we had players go pro because they're able to continue playing at a high level, they're able to get footage of themselves playing at a high level, and then they're able to market themselves off of that experience. So we've had multiple players go pro from our conference, even though, you know, it's only been around 2 or 3 years.
He's going to send it over the top. John Brown is onside. He can seal the deal here. Never in doubt. Supreme confidence by a man who's at the top of his game. Holland, Rosero, beautiful Junior Rosero! Well, that was an emphatic strike.
Cisse pushing forward. Looking up to see who he can pass the ball to. Takes a shot instead and scores!
They'll punch it back in. For one! Great save! A second! That almost came up on the handle. Gottlieb, his chance is still gone. Not away. That's 2 saves for Pianka.
Sebastian Ruiz. That's floating, great ball! Solano equalises for Renegades! And the cup dream is alive once again!
He spins very well, not once, but twice.
Drop the possession right back to the feet of Clift. Clift slides one in. Diving header! Bonfils for 2!
So good all game, Chang, but it's one back, and Kershuba could be in now, and Kershuba, what a save that is!
Looks like it was a handball claim for the team in black. And Perez is out of net, and Body finds the net, and he scores!
Cristino, oh, it's a beautiful flick on Argudo. Does he take it himself? Yes, he does!
It'll be Bacon shooting for the far post. It's in! She beat the goalkeeper to the far post and it's 1-0. Bacon with a free kick.
If he misses this, Renegade.
Live here in this frigid venue, of course, on this chilly night in November in Long Island, New York, where New York Greek American Soccer Club emerges victorious 2-0. Alongside me first is the initial goal scorer in this game, Francesco Caorsi. Now, Francesco, one thing was said by your teammate who's actually alongside you, Adam Marco, who called this goal of yours a collector's item. What was running through your brain when you saw that goal, or that ball more accurately, hitting the back of the net? What made you pull the trigger?
I mean, honestly, when you get to the spot and you have time, the ball is coming at you. That's where you want to place it. And, I tried. And, I hit the ball one. I was lucky enough to hit the corner. So, yeah, it was a good moment.
It was perfectly placed, so congratulations on the goal. Felicitaciones, I guess you could argue. You could say that, I suppose.
Yeah, it's true.
Just making sure. And alongside you, of course, you have Adam Marco, who played a player-manager-like role today. So let's talk about maybe that game-changing red card around the 45th minute or so of stoppage time. How did that really change the nature of the game approaching the second half?
I think it changed because we were on top the last 25 minutes of the first half. We'd scored 2, we'd gotten our line higher, we were involved in the game, and I thought we were really engaged. And obviously, straight before halftime, you go down to 10, so it's going to change the way you come back in the second half. But, fair play to the boys. I thought everybody worked really hard, and we were narrow, we were compact, difficult to break down, and tried to hit a little bit on the counter. But, a few chances in there, but other than that, we were solid. So, fouls changed the nature of the game, cards changed the nature of the game, but overall, I think we adapted well enough and did enough to win today.
A physical game at that as well, Adam. But let's also talk about the fact that this team has 4 wins in a row. So what does it mean approaching, of course, with the winter break not too far away, and with the latest opponent, according to the schedule, being New York Penn Cyprian Freedoms in December? 4 wins. Does that play a role when you're playing against an arch rival like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're confident. We're scoring goals. I think we've defended better the last 2 weeks, and so we're looking forward to the big competition that's coming up. This is kind of the critical moment of the season. It's cold, it's bitter, it's tough to play, and some games can be physical like this. But right now, we're in good form. We're confident. We want the games to come as fast as they can. So yeah, we're excited for it.
Fair enough, right there, Adam. So, again, gentlemen, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on your goal, of course. And hopefully to see you next time, of course, here in this Long Island venue. So stay warm and have a good night. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Of course.
Thanks.
So, on behalf of Ben DeBrokert, I have been Sean Cabrera, and you have been watching the EPSL on Game and Frame, where New York Greek American Soccer Club, once again, victorious 2-0 over Richmond County FC. Thank you very much, and have a good night.